Welcome to official DVSA, Driving Theory Test, 2022 updated, UK. Road signs and traffic signs provide road users with important information to keep them safe on the road. It is vital that you make an effort to learn their meanings and what actions to follow when you see them. There are hundreds of road signs which come in different sizes, shapes and colors. The shape and color of a sign will tell you its meaning and give different information. Many of these traffic signs are quite intuitive and easy to follow. For example, a rectangular blue sign reading, "End of bus lane," simply marks the end of a bus lane. Other road signs, however, aren't as easy to figure out, so it's imperative that you spend time learning what these signs are. 1. Road sign shapes. 2. Road sign colors. 3. Learning UK road signs. Road sign shapes. There are three types of road sign shapes: circular, triangular, and rectangular. 1. Circular signs give orders. A red and white sign prohibits you from doing something, and a blue sign orders you to do something. The road sign above means you're prohibited from performing a U-turn in the road. 2. Triangular signs give warnings. For example, the traffic sign above gives a warning of an icy road ahead. The triangular sign may be upright or inverted. 3. Rectangular signs give information. For example, the sign above tells you that a street is one-way, traffic can only move in a single direction on a particular road. You can learn the shapes of road signs and their meanings by remembering the following. Road sign colors. The first thing that you will probably notice when looking at a road sign is its color. The color of a road sign will determine what kind of message it's trying to convey. There are 5 colors that you will often see, each with its own distinctive message as outlined below. Red, this tells you not to do something or to take notice. Blue, this tells you something you must do, if not on a motorway. This tells you information about the road you are on, if on a motorway. Green, this tells you the direction of primary routes. White, this tells you the direction of non-primary routes. Yellow, this tells you about roadworks or information relating to events and parking. Blue. Blue road signs have 2 primary uses for roads in the UK. These depend on the shape of the traffic sign. Blue circular signs. Most commonly, blue signs give mandatory instruction, they tell you something that you must do. For example, the sign tells you that you must proceed in the direction indicated. Blue circular road signs may also indicate which sort of road user can use a particular route: cyclists, pedestrians, buses, trams, taxis, etc. This sign indicates that the route is designated for cyclists and pedestrians. Blue rectangular signs. Blue rectangular signs are primarily used to show information about the road you're on. For example, this sign indicates the distance to a car park ahead. You will also see blue road signs on motorways. Here, blue rectangular road signs provide directions. Red. In most cases, a red sign orders you not do something. Red circular signs. If a circular sign has a red ring around its perimeter, it means you must not do whatever is displayed on the sign. For example, if 40 is displayed on this type of sign, it means you must not exceed 40 miles per hour. Red triangular signs. Red triangular signs usually contain warnings. For example, this sign warns you of traffic lights ahead. Red triangular signs may also be inverted, as in the case of this sign, which warns you of a giveaway. Red rectangular signs. Rectangular signs with a red background usually contain warning messages. This sign warns road users to reduce their speed. Stop sign. The red stop sign doesn't fall into any of the 3 categories of shape, circular, triangular, or rectangular. The shape of a stop sign, an octagon, is exclusively reserved for this particular sign owing to the great importance of its message and also so that it can be seen even if it is partly covered, for example, by snow. Green. In almost all cases, green road signs are rectangular, although there is an exception to the rule. Green rectangular signs. In the vast majority of cases, green traffic signs provide direction information on primary routes that aren't motorways. This sign indicates that a non-primary route passes through a bypassed town or village. Green circular signs. Green circular signs are reserved for manually operated signs used at roadworks or blockages to indicate you must go. White. In most cases, white road signs are rectangular in shape. White rectangular signs. White rectangular signs give directions on non-primary routes. The sign gives directions to different types of parking places. They can also be used in conjunction with warning and regulatory signs. The sign below is one such example. National speed limit sign. The national speed limit sign is the only white road sign that is circular in shape. Yellow. Yellow rectangular signs. In the majority of cases, you will find yellow road signs where roadworks are being undertaken. These signs will almost always be rectangular. The sign indicates a motorway contraflow system. Yellow is also sometimes used to provide information, such as those signs displaying parking information. Learning UK road signs. Although you don't need to strictly know the meaning of every single road sign in order to pass your theory and driving tests, knowing and understanding as many as possible will certainly make you a better driver. By knowing what the road signs mean and being able to act upon them, you'll be at a lower risk of being involved in an incident or falling foul of the law. Below are several other reasons why it is imperative to learn and understand road signs. Reducing risk from hazardous conditions. Road signs help you to understand if roads are more likely to be hazardous during certain seasons. Understanding and planning your route. Road signs make it easier to drive in unfamiliar areas as they provide information about the roads you are driving on. Avoiding getting lost. Road signs should prevent you from losing your way during a journey and can be used to facilitate a smooth journey to your destination. How to revise UK road signs. Learning traffic signs can be quite difficult. Fortunately, by learning the general principles associated with the shapes and colors of road signs, it will make it easier to interpret the meanings of various symbols and nuances associated with the combination of colors and shapes. Below are some additional useful tips to aid in your learning and revision of UK road signs. Learn the fundamentals. Before diving headfirst into learning the specifics of each road sign, take some time to learn and understand the meanings behind the colors and shapes associated with them. By putting these fundamentals to memory, you'll be halfway there. Use a step-by-step approach. Don't take on too much too quickly. Attempting to learn every single road sign in one sitting will be counterproductive. Learning the meanings and gaining an understanding of road signs is a process that takes time, so you should learn small amounts consistently. For example, you could create a schedule whereby you learn 10 new signs a day and revise the signs that you've learned in previous sessions. The more familiar you become with road signs, the faster you'll learn them, as you'll be able to apply your existing knowledge of road signs to new ones you come across. Don't leave everything to the last minute, especially if you're revising for your theory test. Remember, you will be faced with a number of questions about road signs on your theory test, which could be the difference between a pass and a fail. Watch road signs videos. Draw the signs. A great way to learn road signs is by drawing them out. As you put pen to paper, you're forced to pay attention to the detail of each sign, enabling you to embed it in your mind. Whilst you won't want to or need to do this for every single road sign, it's a good idea for ones you're struggling to remember. Road narrows, on both sides ahead. Sign warns vehicular traffic that the road will narrow ahead on both sides. Road narrows, on right ahead. Sign warns vehicular traffic that the road will narrow ahead on the right-hand side. Zebra crossing ahead. Sign warns road users that they are approaching a zebra crossing, and should be prepared to stop if necessary. Agricultural vehicles, likely to be in road ahead. There is a risk that farm traffic and agricultural vehicles will be using the road ahead, which may be slow-moving and difficult to pass. Horse-drawn vehicles, likely to be in road ahead. There is a risk that horse-drawn vehicles will be using the road ahead, which may be slow-moving and difficult to pass. Migratory toad crossing ahead. There is a crossing ahead used by migratory toads, so drivers should proceed with caution. School crossing patrol ahead. The school crossing patrol use the road ahead. Children's playground ahead. Children may be playing at a children's playground ahead, so drivers should be aware of potential hazards. School ahead. There is a school ahead, so there may be particular hazards ahead at certain times of the day. Sheep likely to be in road ahead. Sheep may be likely hazards on the road ahead. Wild animals, likely to be in road ahead. The road ahead has a risk of wild animals crossing, so drivers should remain alert for this potential hazard. Wildfowl, likely to be in road ahead. Wildfowl are a potential hazard on the road ahead. Wild horses or ponies likely to be in road ahead. The road ahead has a high risk of being used by wild horses and ponies. Cattle grid ahead. The road ahead is crossed with a cattle grid. Cattle likely to be in road ahead. Cattle are a possible risk on the road ahead, so drivers should continue cautiously. Bypass of cattle grid, for horse-drawn vehicles. This sign shows horse-drawn vehicles an alternative route for them to use at a cattle grid. Supervised cattle crossing 200 yards ahead. This sign warns that there is a cattle crossing ahead in 200 yards that is supervised. Accident ahead. Due to an accident in the road ahead, drivers should continue with caution and adjust their speed accordingly. Other danger ahead. Plate beneath indicates the nature of the hazard. This sign indicates a danger ahead and will be accompanied by a sign below indicating the nature of that hazard in writing. Hazard or prohibition extends for 2 miles. The distance indicated refers to how long either a hazard or prohibition of an accompanying sign will continue for. 400 yards ahead to hazard. This sign indicates the distance to a hazard ahead and will be accompanied by a sign with an image indicating the nature of the hazard. Bend ahead to the right. This sign warns that the road ahead has a right-hand bend in it that may require you to slow down. Road narrows on left ahead. Sign warns vehicular traffic that the road will narrow ahead on the left-hand side. Risk of ice or packed snow ahead. Due to the position of the road, it is likely that may be a risk of ice or packed snow, so skidding may be an issue. Low-flying aircraft, or sudden aircraft noise likely ahead. This sign warns road users that sudden aircraft noise or low-flying aircraft are likely ahead to help prevent surprise. Low-flying helicopters, or sudden helicopter noise likely ahead. This sign warns road users that sudden helicopter noise or low-flying helicopters are likely ahead to help prevent surprise. Slow-moving military vehicles likely to be crossing or in the road. Military vehicles are likely to be crossing the road ahead slowly, so drivers should continue along the road with caution. No footway for 400 yards. There may be pedestrians in the road as there is no footway ahead for 400 yards. Overhead cable repairs ahead. Cables above the road are being repaired, so there may be a risk of falling debris. Pedestrians in road ahead. Pedestrians are likely to be a hazard on the road ahead. Traffic queues likely on road ahead. Sign warns road users that road ahead is likely to be afflicted with queues of traffic. Risk of falling or fallen rocks ahead. The road ahead is at risk from falling rocks, and you may also come across fallen rocks in the road. Road liable to flooding ahead. Due to its position, the road ahead is at risk of flooding. Distance over which slow-moving vehicles likely to be encountered ahead. Because of the terrain, the road ahead is likely to have slow-moving lorries for 2 miles. Slow-moving vehicles likely on incline ahead. Because of a steep incline, the road ahead is likely to have slow-moving lorries. Smoke danger ahead. The road ahead may be at risk of smoke, which could affect visibility, so drivers should adjust their speed accordingly. Snowdrifts ahead. The road ahead is more likely to suffer from snowdrifts. Accompanied horses or ponies likely to be in or crossing road ahead. The road ahead is likely to be used by accompanied ponies and horses who may need to cross, so should approach with caution. Area infected by animal disease ahead. The area you are entering is an area with infected animals and where you may find animals that are a potential rabies risk. Blind children likely to cross road ahead. Drivers are warned that they are approaching an area where there is a higher likelihood of blind children crossing the road, so they should adjust their speed down accordingly in case they need to stop suddenly. Children going to or from school or playground ahead. The area ahead is near a school or playground where children and parents may be going to or from. Deaf children likely to cross road ahead. Drivers are warned that they are approaching an area where there is a higher likelihood of deaf children crossing the road, so they should adjust their speed down accordingly in case they need to stop suddenly. Disabled children likely to cross road ahead. Drivers are warned that they are approaching an area where there is a higher likelihood of disabled children crossing the road, so they should adjust their speed down accordingly in case they need to stop suddenly. Soft verges for 2 miles. The road ahead has soft verges on either side for 2 miles ahead that may be difficult to see and become narrow in places. Soft verges ahead. The road ahead has soft verges on either side for 2 miles ahead that may be difficult to see and become narrow in places. Steep hill downwards ahead, 10%. There is a steep downwards hill ahead with a gradient of 10%, so a low gear should be used. Steep hill upwards ahead, 20%. There is a steep downwards hill ahead with a gradient of 20%, so a low gear should be used. Risk of brake failure after crossing a ford or before descending a steep gradient. This sign encourages drivers to test their brakes after a hazard that may have increased their risk of brake failure, such as crossing a ford or in advance of steep downwards hill. Tunnel ahead. Sign warns drivers to turn on their lights as they are approaching a tunnel. Uneven road ahead. This sign warns drivers that the road ahead is of an uneven surface. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to support this channel. Thank you for watching and good luck for your test.